It's live.
Hello, we're live. Hello, everybody, and welcome. Welcome to this week's live stream. And I'm very, very, very happy to say that the technology appears to be working, and we got it on Facebook, and we've got it on YouTube, and that's good because I was messing about that earlier, and I was a bit worried that it wouldn't work. Anyway, so what's coming up tonight? We'd actually prepared this whole kind of thing where I was going to disappear and try and fix it and leave it for everyone else. Welcome, and welcome to this week's live stream. And I'm
Simon.
What's going on there? What's going on there?
Somewhere.
Anyway, so what's going on? Well, we're going to talk about the new issue. We're going to talk about going foreign. We got some weather, which is going to be very, very useful from Simon Keeling. I can see him waiting in the green room there, as we call it. Got a few pictures to show you, the virtual air tattoo. We've got some news and some, I want to buy an engine. Some engine deals going on there if you want it. A couple of other bits and pieces. So anyway, and just stuff, generally, just stuff. And no, I can't sit still. So let's get going and go over to Ed. I'm going to give you the benefit of a full screen Ed for a second because it's quite impressive to talk about the new issue. Here you go, Ed. Over to you.
Well, I was just happy that all the lights managed to stay on because there's no power here. But anyway, good evening. Ian's handed you over so that I can give you a quick update on the magazine. New issue was out on Tuesday, so check that out if you haven't already done. The cover feature is celebrating 65 years of the Cessna 172. Obviously, the world's most produced aeroplane, over 45,000 built, millions of hours flown, and pretty much, I would say, we reckoned in the office that so many PPLs must have a Cessna 172 tale to tell. I'm pretty sure we've all flown one at some time or experienced one. They really are the world's aeroplane. There's also a feature called Summer of Flying Love, which gives you an insight into some of the things that the team is up to this summer and some of the readers. And hopefully that will give you some ideas. That ties in with a thread on the Flyer forum that you can go and check out. There's a link through at the end of the article. So you can share your ideas. And we did wonder whether we'd come back to that come winter time and go, how do we get on with all achieving the things that we plan to do? So that might be fun. There's a flying adventure. One of the teammates from the Global Stars aerobatic team writes about taking the team airplanes. They ship them to India for for an air show there just before COVID struck. So that's quite interesting. There's a Top Gear feature about filming your flying in the cockpit on a budget with some tips on how to get better audio. What else is there? Lots of news, all the regular columns. If you're a Flyer Club member, there's £78 worth of free landings as well. So there's a good reason to spend your £2.50 a month to get the Flyer Club benefits. So that's it.
I mean, and who's not a Flyer Club member? I suspect everybody here is a Flyer Club member. I would imagine. So just I just wanted to say about that Cessna 172, which was like the first production Cessna. Was it last year or two years ago at Oshkosh that it was?
2 years ago. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention the fact that it's the article that we've got is about the first 172 to roll off the production line, and it's fascinating. It's written by Ken Scott, really good read, and a guy, the current owner, a guy called Dennis Osmond, found it and decided that he wanted to restore it to exactly as it was. And it's a really great tale of turning that back into it was an Oshkosh Prize winner, but he uses it every day.
So, I mean, and when you go to Oshkosh, for anyone here who's been to Oshkosh or anyone's watching, you will know that there is just so much to see and so many amazing aircraft to see. But when this one was parked up, I think it was parked up at Vintage when we saw it.
Yeah,
it was just it's a 172. We've all seen, flown, kicked and everything else, a 172. This one was just absolutely stunning. It was beautiful. The polished aluminium around all the sort of complex curves at the wing root and stuff was just gorgeous. And I know we don't normally wax lyrical about Cessna 172s, but this one really is a special airplane, and the guy who owns it has just done an astonishingly great job on it.
Yeah, especially when you consider that it got painted halfway through its life, so it was scuffed to paint it and to return it to completely polished. I think he says that he developed a 7-stage system that took, I think it was nearly an hour for every square foot of the aeroplane. So,
does he tell everybody that at parties? Let me tell you about my 7-stage aluminium polishing system.
But if you'd done such a thing, I think you'd be proud enough to do that.
I think you probably would. Let me take him off my list of invites. Anyway, no, it is a stunning airplane. Well done, Dennis. I was only joking. What else have we got? What else is happening? So going foreign starts tomorrow, or it starts tomorrow in as much as from tomorrow there are certain countries where you can fly to and you don't have to quarantine, and you can come back to the UK and you don't have to quarantine. If you were to do that today, you'd be quarantining for a bit. But from tomorrow, I think, I can't remember which countries there are. There's like 75 of them. But effectively, as far as we're concerned, France is always a good one. It's quite close by, and we can get there. And they had a voluntary 14-day quarantine until midnight tonight, and that changes. And then the 14-day quarantine coming back. So France is open tomorrow. So that's great. So I am going to go to France tomorrow. I'm going to jump in the airplane, fingers crossed, and head to the 2K. Just to have a look and come back. So that's my plan for tomorrow. Where are we? Will they let you in, RMP? Of course they'll. Why wouldn't they let me in? Of course they'll let me in. It'd be great. Let me just move over to here for a second. So given that I'm going to France tomorrow and we've got a weekend coming up and the weather's going to be great, I think it's probably time to bring on Simon Keeling. But before we do that, we've just got a little intro for Simon Keeling, just to explain the function of weather people worldwide.
Good afternoon to you. Earlier on today, apparently a woman rang the BBC and said she heard that there was a hurricane on the way. Well, if you're watching, don't worry, there isn't.
Simon, you've got too much time on your hands.
How you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. Yeah, will weathermen ever live down that famous Michael Fish moment, eh?
No.
I tell you what, though, he's done all right on the after-dinner circuit from it.
I can imagine. So tonight is not your opportunity to get it that wrong, okay?
I'll try my best. I'll try my best not to.
So what's the weather like then? What's it going to be like?
It looks all right, actually. I mean, you're going off to the 2K tomorrow, aren't you? So yeah, it looks pleasant for that. I think the idea is leave it as late as you can in the morning to get down there, because there's a weak front that's clearing through some low cloud, and then a nice northwesterly, actually, polar maritime air mass, which is sunshine and scattered showers, and that's what's going to follow in tomorrow. Good visibility, northwesterly wind. It all looks very pleasant. And actually tomorrow, if you fancy sort of skiving off work, if you've gone back, I think probably tomorrow anywhere apart from northeast England looks okay. Northeast England, some heavy showers around in the morning, then it gets better. But then for everybody through the weekend, it looks really good. The video that I put on the Fly Club site earlier on today spoke about Saturday and Sunday seeing high pressure build in, and that's exactly what's going to happen. So both Saturday across much of England, Wales, Ireland, eastern parts of Scotland, northern France, looks like being a good day. High pressure over the top of us. Typical cloud base is about 4,000 feet. The top's up at about 8,000 feet. It's well broken cloud as well. Just northern Scotland may see a little bit of low cloud and drizzle. And then Sunday, the high stays with us. Bit more cloud around. Base is about 3,000 to 4,000 feet. Top's only about 6,000 to 7,000 feet, but still good visibility, light winds, and for all of us, it looks pretty darn good. Apart from, again, that far north and northwestern part of Scotland where they see some drizzle and low cloud. But I think anybody doing cross-channel stuff this weekend, it looks pretty good as well, going into northern parts of France, both on Saturday and Sunday. So if you plan to go flying like Ian, you've probably chosen the right weekend to do it. Jammy so-and-sos.
I could go on Saturday, but I've got a feeling that Saturday is going to be heaving in France. To get completely and utterly stuffed. And of course, the 2K have got the 2K have got a no time out at the moment. So there's I think it's from 11:30 Zulu for a couple of hours. ATC's closed, so it's French calls only at the 2K during that 2-hour period. Check the no times. Don't take my word for it, but I think it's something like that. And so I'm actually working at the moment on a video that we put together with James Emery, that we're putting together for us Brit pilots who want to go to be able to speak a bit of French in the circuit over there. And and to use all of the French airfields. So
nice. The only thing you need to watch for this weekend, just thinking about it, I didn't mention for northern France, if you are thinking of doing it, is the risk of sea breezes, which will increase the gust factors. So just be aware of that, because it's going to get pretty hot across central France during this weekend. And with the channel still being relatively cool, I mean, it is most of the year, isn't it? But with it still being relatively cool in the channel, I think those sea breezes could be quite a factor this weekend. So just be aware of that. The gusts are going to be there. You probably want to be adding a good sort of 5 to 10 knots on top of the mean speed for the gust factor from these sea breezes during this weekend. But apart from that, you know, it looks great for you.
Thank you very much for that, Simon. Now, as you know, we our budget for a weather person on this channel is approximately 0.
Is it really? Oh, well,
yeah.
Right, in that case, I'm going.
So you've now got you've now got a chance to plug your weather school. So quickly, plug your weather school.
You are too kind, you know. Well, I mean, you know that I do. I run my weather schools, which are for pilots. Go to weatherschool.co.uk. You can find out all the information about it there. I've got my next aviation weather part 1 school next Saturday. So that's Saturday the 18th. And the following Saturday, Saturday the 25th, we run them over 2 consecutive Saturday mornings from 9:30 until 12:30. It's all online. It's live. It's presented by me. So if you want to build your confidence in your own ability to make forecasts yourself and trust those that you're getting from elsewhere and be able to plan your flying 5 days in advance, aviation weather schools for you. Go to weatherschool.co.uk and have a look there. How's that?
That's perfect. Thank you very much. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put you in the background now. We think we're going to fill the rest of the half hour, but if we don't, we'll come back. And if anyone's got any questions for Simon, pop them up there and we'll see if we can fit them in as well.
Before you get rid of Simon, someone asked, have you restarted your training? Because you've started your PPL, haven't you?
I have, yeah. I'm doing my LAPL. So I'm 15 hours in. I was just at the point of going solo before we locked down. So my aim is to get back training this week or next week. But you know, it is business gets in the way and everything else as we're coming out of lockdown. So I'm trying to get in there as soon as I can to get back training. I'm doing my exams as well. So I'm currently studying for human performance. So I'm going to go and sit that as well in the next couple of weeks. But yeah, I just can't wait to get back in the air. I need to do it. Definitely there.
Hopefully you'll be all right at the Met exam.
I've passed it. I'm not going to tell you the mark though, Ed. I'm not going to tell you the mark. Don't ask.
105%, wasn't it?
I wish.
What's the pass rate? 70% or something?
75%. Yeah. Oh look, I smashed the pass rate.
76 then.
That's what I'm going to say. Although I will say, of course, it was a badly worded question.
Yeah. Every time.
Oh dear. So thank you for that trauma revisit for me. Thanks, Ed. Now I'm going to go and sit in the darkened room again and rock for a bit longer.
Here's a good weather question. We'll just get you this one before you leave, or before we put you in our little green room. Why does the weather turn crap when flying's available again?
That's called the law of sod. It's well known in weather circles. And just when you want it, yeah, of course, it's going to turn. I mean, it turned, didn't it? As we went into lockdown, it became absolutely fantastic. And as we've come out of it, it's changed again. We need to get this jet stream out of the way. Once that goes, look, we'll be quids in again.
So it's like next April, then, is it?
Yeah. Well, I didn't say what year in.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, thank you very much, Simon. Let me just put you there. And Dave, I think you're going to talk to us about some virtual events. Are you not?
Yes, I am. Talking about sitting in a darkened room, something's happened to my lighting.
I was going to say, your candle's gone out.
Something like that. We did do a tech run before this, and it was all okay. Anyway, so this month there are a whole bunch of virtual events, which because we can't hold the real thing. So it kicks off first of all with the Air Tattoo, which is the big air show. Would normally be the big air show, but so they're having a virtual event. Farnborough International Air Show, obviously again cancelled, so they've organised a virtual thing. If you Google them, you can find their links. The Oshkosh event, the one we've been talking about before, that of course they've had to cancel that in the States because of COVID. If you've ever been, it's packed full of people and too many places to pass it on. So they're having a virtual week of Oshkosh, and Garmin are having, because Oshkosh is gone, and it's a big event for them as well, they're having their own experience, Oshkosh experience. So a lot of virtual events coming up this month. There's a few real ones as well. So for instance, our friends at Sandown, one of our favorite airfields, that's going to have the Freedom flying this Saturday. And over at Northreps, sometimes called Cromer, they've got a 2-day event with the Vintage Piper Aircraft Club flying in, but they're opening up to any vintage aircraft. So there's some real things going on as well as virtual. Now, in the rest of the news, shall I carry on?
Carry on. Well, I think the next thing we've got, at least the next thing I've got on my list is, "Oi mate, want to buy a motor?"
Yeah.
So carry on with that one.
So Pipistrel, Pipistrel. They take the mickey out of me because I can't say Pipistrel. Anyway, so Pipistrel are going to offer the type certified electric engine that is in their type certified electric aircraft, the Velis Electro. They're going to offer that motor to other manufacturers and to anybody who wants it, basically. So if you've got a type certified airframe and you want a type certified electric motor to go in it, you can. That's quite a move. It's produces 77 horsepower, so it's not going to be big aircraft at the moment.
Is that it's 77 and then 66 continuous, I think, isn't it?
66 continuous, yeah. 77 for takeoff, maximum power, 66 continuous. Although, of course, electrical engineers will always tell us you shouldn't measure in horsepower, you should measure in kilowatts.
Kilowatts, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's to install it. You have to install. It comes with a certified cooling system as well, doesn't it? Because it's like it's a liquid cooled motor.
It's a whole propulsion system. It's a liquid cooled motor. It's the batteries. It's the controllers. The whole thing. Yeah. Yeah.
What I thought was interesting is that in the press release for it, it says whatever direction motor you want the motor to run, you can do it. It's entirely switchable.
That's right. You can run it whichever way around you like. Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if it's switchable in flight.
I was thinking that. Reverse pitch.
That would be so much fun, wouldn't it?
No, it wouldn't.
No, because the way that you fiddle, it would be like the button that says "Do not press" in flight. You would be pushing it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know.
So moving on, because time's ticking away. In other news, American legend.
Let me get you that picture, Dave. Let me get you that picture. Dun, dun, dun.
Have launched this. It's the mother of all Cubs, which is possibly a bit of American overstatement, but it is 208 horsepower max continuous in a Cub with all sorts of aerodynamic devices on it. So it's got leading edge slats as well as huge flaps, and it's got you see the back end of the fuselage. You can open all that up as a cargo area. So if you want to go backcountry, you can fill it full of camping equipment, guns, and all sorts of things.
Guns and ammo.
Guns and ammo and gear and things.
Yeah. And it can take off in its own length, according to American legend, probably not while fully loaded. So,
that's a pretty, basically, big old Cub engine, 200 and whatever it is, 208 horsepower, some slats, and yeah.
There's a lot of manufacturers pursuing the whole Cub genre. I know American Legend do it really well. They've got a good history of it. Yeah. But I think it's Airframes Alaska have come up with if you want 4-place Cub, you can also get one of those. It's there's some real good variety.
Wow.
Surely it's no longer a Cub if it's 4 places.
Yeah, and it's probably something that Piper created called a pacer.
So I should probably say that I probably won't be flight testing this one myself. I flight tested this thing, or I was going to flight test this thing from American Legend. This was out of Sebring. And how long ago was that? Was that 3 or 4 years ago?
Yeah, it's 4 years ago.
4 years ago, out of Sebring, yeah. And this lovely little Cub, flying this Cub on what was an absolutely beautiful, beautiful night, or sort of late afternoon, really. Not night. It was, the air was dead smooth. It was lovely. There was not much going on, and then I landed for some touch and goes, and that was the result. So if you look at it, you'll notice the end of the blades have been slightly modified, and the spinner has been slightly modified, and I think Elon would call it a rapid disassembly of the spinner. I'm not entirely sure. I still don't know what happened, but sorry.
Yeah, well, it wasn't so much a rapid disassembly as just a rapid stop.
A rapid stop. I was trying to land it in a in its own length, and I think that was successful.
Yeah, but a lot of people have commented on the fact that it was maybe something to do with the big squishy tires, wasn't it? So
yeah, I mean, I still to this day I still don't know what happened. To be perfectly honest, I do know that it transpired that it didn't actually belong to the factory, but belonged to an owner. And I do know that the owner had forgotten to pay his insurance, which was which led to a fairly traumatic series of events. But anyway,
there's a lesson there, kids. Pay your insurance.
Pay your insurance. Yeah. So.
There's some good comments in the comments section. Clearly, obviously, someone said, "How long before someone puts a turbine on a Cub?" Well, that's someone's pointed out that's already happened. There was someone made a giant-sized Cub, 7 seats, I think it was, and then put a Garrett turbine on it. But that ended up being called the Sherpa. That's worth googling. They never turned it into a production thing, but it's an absolute monster of a thing. And then Max Pemberton's pointed out that. As far as probably most mental Cubs go, probably the new Mike Patey Scrappy, if you haven't been watching the videos on that, you need to check it out, because the whole series of Scrappy videos, the construction and the thought, and he's got this, basically a Cub Crafters Cub base airframe, and then completely modified it. It's got a Lycoming IO 720 on it, which is over 450 horsepower piston. It's got an airboat propeller, and this thing will probably take off in less than its own it'll just levitate. It'll make helicopters look not VTOL.
It'll make helicopters look cheap.
Yeah, I think it's gonna have trick suspension. He's got just do yourself a favor, spend some time with his videos, because if ever there's a never sleeping genius in the aircraft building world, all I can say is it's probably a good idea he's not working under the LAA system, because Francis would have caught fire by now.
Yeah, it is definitely the second best series of aviation stuff on YouTube, just after the live stream here, really. No, they are amazing. You do need to go and watch it. If you haven't seen it, you're in for a real treat. So what else have we got? I think we got another picture.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can tee that up. There you go.
Right, so this is the aircraft restoration company, a Duxford-based company that specialises in maintenance and restoration and operating classic aircraft, especially warbirds. Anyway, while the COVID thing's been going on, every Thursday night when the Clap for Carers event went on, they've been flying their Spitfire around the local villages, and they've got a phenomenal response to it, as you might expect. And so they've taken it one stage further, and they've launched a nominate a local hero, and you have to go to their Just Giving page and pay £10 minimum, and nominate somebody who's done something in the local area, and that person's name will be put onto the aircraft, and they'll fly it around. It's quite a nice little idea. If you want to follow this up, you can go to Flyer's website, flyer.co.uk, look at the news section, and there's a story on it there. Plus a little video, actually. I've got a little video on there of the Spitfire flying.
Excellent.
Yeah. Are they hoping to do something like 80,000 names?
That's their target, 80,000 names, yeah. That's a lot on a Spitfire.
And I think it's raising money to donate to NHS charities or something?
That's right. It's NHS Charities Together.
Yeah.
Which is, that's it, yeah.
80,000 names at 10 quid a go, or is that something different?
Yeah, but it still won't buy that Spitfire, because it's a pretty special Spitfire. It's one of the very few Mark 11 photo reconnaissance ones that they spent a long time rebuilding. So
it does. Yeah. Well, if you can't get a Spitfire for 800 grand, what can you get? I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ed.
Might buy you an engine, I guess.
Yeah, I was talking to a farmer the other day, and he was a local farmer. I won't do the strong Wiltshire accent, but he was saying that a few years ago he missed the opportunity to buy two Merlin engines that had been modified and were used in grain dryers.
Wow.
And he could have bought them, but he didn't. And they weren't very expensive, should we say? And he's kind of kicking himself for not buying those now. So
that's it.
Bit of a shame. Dave, while you were talking about the news there, you can go and see this on the news. You want to do a quick plug for the news and the newsletter?
Yep, sure. Every Tuesday we do a weekly newsletter, which basically covers everything that we've been covering on the news on the website. We also find a few other things that are happening. It's pretty much breaking news. We put it together during Tuesday, during the day, and it goes out at around about 4 to 5 o'clock. And it's pretty up to date, and there's not many stories there you've seen anywhere else. So you can sign up for the newsletter simply by going to the Flyer website, and on the homepage there's a box. You can just put your name in there, and we never use the emails for anything else other than send you the newsletter. So
absolutely,
yeah, we're pretty rigid on that. Yep.
Yeah, great. Well, while we're on plugs, I'll just take this opportunity to put in a little plug for a partner of Flyer and Flyer Club, which is Bose, amongst others, I should say. They've got an offer at the moment. If you buy an A20, you get a voucher for 179.95 or 199 euros that you can use to buy any of the Bose electrical consumer stuff. And if you buy a second headset, or third or fourth or fifth or however many at the same time, you get an extra 10% off of those, but you can't use the voucher to spend against those. So there's a new story on Flyer, partner content news story, so go and check it out. And clearly Bose are not the cheapest headsets in the world, so this is a good opportunity to save a little bit of money on something else that you might want. So that's that. What else have we got in terms of promo here while we're here? The Flyer Club. Has anyone mentioned the Flyer Club? £2.50 a month. You did. £2.50 a month. Come on, people, sign up. It helps us. You get 78 quid's worth of free landings this month. It's got to be. Superb weather forecast for this weekend. Lots of gliders will be out. And yeah, no, absolutely. Let's just put that one up. That's quite an important one while I'm joking around.
Thanks, Mike.
Yeah. In fact, I'm just charging up my little Sky Echo 2, which hoping that while I'm flying tomorrow will feed Flam traffic onto Sky Demon.
Have you've ticked the box for that extra subscription, have you, on your Sky Demon?
Tick the box for the extra subscription, and hopefully this is going to point out the Flam traffic to me.
Excellent.
Which is an important thing. Let's just bring Simon back in here for the last few minutes. You all right still there, Simon?
Oh, I'm absolutely fine. Yeah, it will be busy at Lasham, won't it, with the weather this weekend. It might overdevelop a little bit for them there, but I think that the thermals look pretty darn good, I would say, for both Saturday and Sunday as well. So yeah, they're going to be very, very busy. I used to glide from the Long Mind as well, you know.
Really?
Yeah. Did quite a few hours up there gliding, but it took a lot of time to do it, which is why I've gone and done a bit of powered stuff. But yeah, love gliding. Yeah.
What airplane are you learning on, Simon?
It's a Grob. So I'm learning in a Grob tutor at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and loving it. They always say it's a tricky airplane to handle, but once you've actually mastered it, you can pretty well fly most things. At least that's what they're telling me. So yeah, but they're lovely little aircraft. I think it's a little bit like driving an old Mini. You know, very responsive. It lets you know when you've got something wrong. Let's put it that way.
Grob, it's like an old Mini.
It is. It's what it reminds me of every time I get in. And the smell is the same as an old-fashioned Mini as well. My first car was an old Mini, and it's exactly the same smell. It's like going home.
There could be a common factor there, Simon.
Yeah. All right. Okay. It's me.
Maybe we should have one of those competitions. Where are you learning? Is this at Halfpenny Green?
Yeah, it's at Halfpenny Green. Yeah, with Emily West there. Yeah.
Maybe we should have how many people can you fit in a Grob competition then?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's very tight. Trust me. And with me in there, it's even tighter. Believe me, I just feel sorry for the poor thing as we're hurtling down the run when we take off. You can almost feel it go, oh, not again, not him again. I've got to lift him into the air.
Yeah,
it'll be so much more fun when you're solo.
Oh yeah, I tell you what, Ed, I can't wait for it. I'm very apprehensive about it, and I think this is what everybody tells me. Very apprehensive, but looking forward to it as well. I can't wait for that moment when they say, "Off you go," then. But I know that I'll probably need an extra pair of trousers with me when it happens.
Are you going to video it?
Of course, yeah. I've actually videoed all of my flying so far. So yeah, I'm gonna film that one. Yeah,
Brilliant.
Brilliant. Yeah, can't wait. I just need a nice, calm day, high cloud bases, great visibility, no bumps or lumps. That'll do me just fine.
If only there was a way of predicting those days.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I must try and find somebody halfway decent who could do that. You know, if you know of anybody, you will let me know, won't you?
Michael Fish.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Every time. Yeah, go on, Michael.
Cool, excellent. Well, we're just clicked over 8 o'clock, so that's us for the that's us for tonight. Before we go, I'm just going to say, if you're watching this on YouTube, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up, leave some comments, subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would be great. If you're watching this on Facebook, again, hit some likes. Go over and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Why not? Lots of good things coming up, particularly as we can now get out and make some videos outdoors. You know, Ed's our kind of advanced outside broadcast team there. So that's good. Otherwise, we look forward to seeing you all next week. If anyone's in the 2K tomorrow, I'll hopefully see you there. Otherwise, good luck, stay safe, and thank you very much, everyone. See you next week. Bye.
Good week, everyone. Bye.
Bye. See you. Bye. Bye.